Good evening and welcome to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, the Let's Try program here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian Horner and I will be your host for tonight, as I am most nights. We're broadcasting to you from the human-scaled corner that I now live in our office here. Glad to be back, happy to be back, and happy to have a project with almost everything that's going on here. Sounds weird. Okay, hopefully there's not any weird sound going on here in terms of... You know what? Actually, I can find this out because I've got my own little setup here. What do I sound like? Okay, yeah, I'm just a little bit far away from the microphone. So if I come into this area and drag it down, that should get us right into the... that should give us everything we can. There might be some issues with the sound as well, as I've currently got most things ready for the stream, but not all of them. One of them is currently in the process of printing right now, directly behind you, I might add. And we've got, hey, 2 layers left before hopefully the sound will even out for everyone. And actually, let me just make sure that the rest of these things are... How about that? Okay. Yeah, that's definitely 3D printer nose. Okay, that makes sense. You know what? I'm going to take these off because these are extremely distracting, and I'm going to close that window because bandwidth is precious. So, yeah, as we were getting started in our the roll, the initial roll, yes, we have to tell you what tonight's projects are, and we're gonna start off with what you saw in the tweet. It's a big old steering wheel, isn't it? And I want to first off thank very deeply friend of the show, and I guess at this point majority race sponsor, Texan Reverend, in the chat for providing the materials for today's conversion, as well as providing the initial materials for today's conversion, for giving us this wheel. What we're going to do today is we're going to take this off of this and replace it with this. Why? It's bigger. That's one main reason. It's actually significantly bigger. You just check it out there, which will make things more fun and more easy to use, and more torquey, more fun. We went with blue because it's blur colors, right? Important to rep the colors. So yeah, yes, Richard, less buttons is definitely going to be the issue with that. So if we've got time post wheel swap, project number 2 is where things are currently printing. We got the back part, we've got the front part, and currently printing is the bottom part for a big old button box to replace the buttons on the wheel with. And I can label those with actual labels, and then people who are driving alongside me or replacing me during the 24 hours of Le Mans, or anyone who wants to come in and use the facilities, will have the ability to know what the buttons do, how to get into the pit, how to reset their car, etc., instead of just having to rely on my poor instructions and advice. So, I mean, let's jump into it right away, shall we? Let me just take you on down to Project Town here. Boop, 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 booth. No, booth is where we are. Gameplay left is where we want to go. Welcome to the zone. Let's just move this away and get this out of there too, because we don't need those right now. Boopity boopity boop. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get that on the table. Okay. Didn't have that on the table when I was framing this shot, but that's okay. We can adjust things as is necessary. Seems like a good place there. So first step, future TTSF, building a racing cockpit. I mean, if I had the extra room here in the palatial Tilthouse main studios, I would absolutely build a full-on racing cockpit. But I like to not have My I like to have other hobbies too, and not have a big racing cockpit taking up a lot of space. Would be fun though. Would definitely be good to have in the moon base if they'd let me. Okay. Audio channels cutting in and out. That's okay. That's not what's supposed to happen. Hold on a second here. I want to make sure that nothing's weird here because I've had reports of audio issues earlier, and I've been doing things to try and it's 500% FE. Well, that's interesting. Okay, let me see here. So now, okay, so this is fine. This is okay. Oh boy, I need to get right up in there. So let's crank our good friend the gain to 95 there. And let's take that up to 60 for the volume there. Put that down on the ground where it belongs. And okay, that seems like that might be a little bit better there. Let me just make sure that I've got any other filters correct for this. Properties. Audio. Okay, so that's correct. That is correct, and that is correct. Okay, so I guess what I need to do is just speak a little bit louder and more direct into the microphone if we can here. Wait a minute. Nope, everything should be fine. Everything should be fine. Okay. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is bring that down here. There we go. Okay, now you just got the mic in there. It's in shot. It doesn't actually matter. Let's take off my headphones because those are going to get uncomfortable otherwise. Yeah, and is Ian's mic audio usually stereo? Is it stereo today? It shouldn't be. Unless it's been, unless I've changed something. Oh, no. No, that's correct. Everything looks correct. Okay. Huh. Stereo's still being weird. All right, well, you know what? Let's push this button. Go to Advanced Audio Properties. And you know what? Let's just monoize. Wow, why is everything so wrong? Okay, hopefully that's better. Let me, you know what? I'm gonna. Was that all that it took? Jeez, bloody Mary Joseph and all of the, and I want to say King Kong and the rest of them. Okay, good. That does sound better. Good. Put that away. Never not normal. All right. We need to take the wheel off, which means we're going to need tools. Down here this time. This time. Almost lost a bunch. Screwdriver is our friend. Start with screwdriver chain. There's a lot on here that we're going to need to get rid of. So I guess let's all right. So first things first, we need to get this wheel off so that we can get the cover off so that we can remove all of the things. And if you can see just down there, there is a, don't want to push on the strain relief. Through that hole there, that's one of the holes that holds the steering wheel on. And the same on the other side. So we're going to need to get those off first of all before anything else. Board Circ, no flappy paddles on the new steering wheel. That's why we have the 8-speed H shifter now. So we'll have to, and I'm looking into possibly, woo, goodbye screw. Thank goodness. Looking into thinking about building something to re-engage flappy paddles for future. Because they're sometimes still fun to use, but also we've got mods going on for the shifter, so lots to do today. Lots to do. Here we go. Those are both of those screws removed, and now, if I'm remembering correctly, I did watch one YouTube video on this, and want to make sure everything's straight up and down before we pop the wheel off, and it should just pop off now. I mean, just pop off is a whoop, and it did. Good, good. Okay, so now we've got a cable attached to a thing. Let's get the rest of these out here. Okay, so we got a bunch of screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably 7 and 8. I think we need to undo basically everything at this point. But we're also going to need to get this front plate off here too. And that's a lot of unscrewing we're going to need to do here, I think, is what it comes down to. So let's just have a look inside. This is my favorite part of any sort of modification, is the discovery of how to get things, how to get into things. Exactly, Texan. You were correct in that, yeah, the shifter can be put in sequential mode, which does does allow for the ease of shift, but not the location. That said, I'm pretty sure the majority of cars I'm going to probably be driving in IRL are not going to be flappy paddle engaged, so best to get used to the alternative, the standard alternative. Okay, so interestingly, I've already noticed a problem. The outer screws, I'm going to put these in a pattern here on my desk, not here, over here, just off screen, but the pattern in which they came out. Some of these screws, and I'll get there in a second once I get another one out here and confirm which screw it is. Yeah, Dragonite, the best shifters these days seem to come as a separate part, thankfully. But it also does be aware of the cost, but the cost is, it pays off, I guess. Here's what I was worried about. Well, not worried, but we've got two screws here. We've got two types of screws. These pointy ones, which appear to just be here for holding the plastic together. Let's see if I can get even closer there. Autofocus, you gonna help me out? No, you're not. So we got 3 of those. Those go around the edges. And that one's gonna be up here. And then you've got these 2, which appear to be flat-topped, which indicates that they'll go into metal for machine-style screwing around. And those are central wheels, so we'll keep those. Next, I should keep a piece of paper around for purposes of labeling these screws. Hopefully they don't do the sneaky screws under the feet pads trick. Real gamer cow, yeah. I mean, that I don't have much of a problem with that. Whenever I end up encountering devices that use that particular trick, I generally just move the pads, a half-inch to the left once I remove them, and then that way you still get the rubber padding, but you don't have to worry about moving the pads every time. Okay, and I think that is all the shell screws that we need to do. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that's the number that I heard on the YouTube video. So let's see if we can't get this this bit to pop off. Ah, one more bit. There's a ring. And that is the ring here that needs to come off as well, I believe, for everything to come apart. Grasson asks, I have purchased a keyboard for the first time in my life. I'm going to try dealing something other than my Model M. Good Lord, Grasson! Something other than a Model M. What drove you to such madness that would cause you to leave the tribe like that? Tribe of the Bucking Spring. Okay. Hey, there we go. That's one that comes out of there. Let's put these ring ones in a different spot. I'm really, really tempted and interested in actually getting into the wheel itself and seeing what secrets it might hold. And if there's a way to maybe adapt that to a button box system too. Plus, the wheel's pretty good on its own, so maybe you shouldn't ruin that to begin with too quickly. Racing wheel manufacturers seem okay with the idea of people modifying them, says Draconite Streams. I suspect it would be a hard sell to prevent modding given the target audience. Yeah. I mean, when you're dealing with such a niche community like that already, and when decent wheels end up, when you need to drop 3 C notes to get a decent wheel, not decent, but to really start getting the number of rotations, the force of the feedback, etc. It does start to add up, and so I think there is a understanding that, hey, you know what, we deserve a bit more than just what you're giving us. Aha! More screws. Plate comes off, revealing screws here and here, which I believe also need to come off in order to remove this whole assembly. Okay, so those are the 4 for the around the ring. Thankfully, they're all the same screw so far, so that's important. Woofing HE2, full-size keyboard. Every key is analog via Hall effect. Heyo. Hall effect is real and can hurt you. No, thankfully it can't. It's just magnets, but magnets are. I love Hall effect electronics and the fact that it seems to actually be kind of permeating the gaming industry. Hot take. Mechanic keys community's obsession with non-full keyboards. VM Kid, you are not wrong with that. The mechanical keyboard community is an interesting beast too, because it started off as something that was such a geeky enterprise, and then made a hard right directly towards mainstream and just kind of sat there in the middle. But yeah, no, I want my F13 through 15 keys, and I'm glad I have them on my Apple Extended 2. We should be able to get into this now. If I've got all my things removed that I think I need. What I need is a spudger right now. Don't actually have anything like that around me. ATM. Have I removed all the screws that I need? This is always the question. All right, it looks like it. There's something about pushing that apparently do this, but fingernails are not. Oh, wait, there we go. Perfect. Fingernails were doing the job. Huh, okay. I've often wondered, so there's this Thrustmaster emblazoned piece up top here, and I've often wondered what the deal with it was, and it appears to just be a piece of decoration held on by a couple of screws. So we won't need that for a while here. Fun to get a look inside these things too, isn't it? So let's just have a wee examination here. Yeah, this is the wheel, or the main motor, it appears, and boy, it's got a fan. That's how you can tell it works hard, is it's got a fan on it. You get this, which I guess, some honking resistors on it too, and as I said, the fan, and that drives a series of pulleys. You can see the top of that here, and that's what that attaches to another gear, and then through that system of gears and pulleys gives the feedback. Resistors or flyback diodes? Gonna say these things here, those to me look like resistor. Not these. These look like resistors, and they certainly appear to be coded color-wise like resistors. I might need to. You know what? Hold on a second. I am currently a quarter ND. Let's add one more. No, that's too much. No ND for you. We're going to rely on our focus only. Okay, and then let's get in there. Yes. There you can see them. Big, thick, nasty boys. Okay, let's zoom out again. Let's go back to our tabla. Pull up just a bit more. All right, there we go. Oh no! Now you can see the the trackball again. Okay. So, next. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! What have they done? What have they done? Whoa! Found the power supply. That's a big friend right there. What are the colors on the resistors? Real Gamer Cow asks. We've got, it appears to be brown, gray, gold, gold, black. So that's brown, gray, gold, gold, black. Okay. Enough futzing around. Let's continue on with our mission here. So this is the cord that we need to remove. That you can kind of see that it's got this. It's a coiled cord, and it goes all the way through this central stock, out the front end to the steering wheel, and that's got all the controls on it. And why am I so bloody bright? Choto Mate. Figure video. Control camera. Auto exposure. Never in a million years allow you to auto exposure. That's just bad management. So, give me my gain back on that side. There we go. Now we're sharp. If not balanced in terms of whiteness, which is generally a problem in the industry as a whole. Where'd my... There we go. Apply, and okay, and okay. Good. Do the cables in the back not unplug? Dragonite, the power and data and USB cables do not unplug. They're attached, but it looks like it wouldn't be too much work to throw in a USB C cable there, or not USB-C, USB Type B cable, which might be worth doing. But what we got to do is we got to snip one of these little zip ties here. And for that, we're going to need the side cutters, which are just out of view. Dang it. Hold on a second. And we're back. All right. So let's be careful not to snip the actual cord itself. I'm mostly concerned about this wad of hot glue right in there next to the ferrite rings. That's one out. There's a second zip tie. This one requires a bit more finesse, but yeah. All right, and with that, we just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. 138K ooms. And through the hole. Through the hole. Through the hole. Uh-oh. Somebody got stuck halfway through. Seriously, why did you do that? Ah! Well, all right. Now I need the needle nose pliers. So we'll from down here. I can aim that at you there. You can see that it's just jammed up partway down the hole. That's annoying. Hopefully I can actually grab it. I don't want to force things too badly. Oh no, that's perfect. Perfect. The way that is managed to land itself has made it completely impossible for me to fix from that end. So I guess we got to jam it back out the other side using this. It also will not reach. I guess we'll try to straighten it out. No. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this kind of sucks. And up here. Get that out of the way, and let's see if we can't just jam it down a bit. Back in the other direction. Chopsticks might be a good idea too, yeah. Skewer or dowel. Yep, okay, time to go get some chopsticks. BRB, don't go away. And we're back with the sticks. All right, that's perfect. Whew. That got it freed and not quite out though. I need to jam it from this side. Is it getting stuck on something? What's happening? Who am I? Where are my pants? Oh, it's... Huh. Okay, well, they're just going to make this hard on me, I guess, aren't they? Guess we do this hard mode style? Okay. Which means probably just pushing these out with a pin, I think. Because I don't want to snip it down. I want to be able to put this back together. Let's just have a quick look down that hole and see if there's anything that's going to restrict me. This is rather difficult to Rather difficult to maneuver. Oh, hold on a second. Whoa. Yep, it's not coming out like that. Yeah, my thought is that I can remove the wires from the connector and then put them back after a spell. I think that's what we might end up doing here. It's actually the easiest way to do that. Okay. That'll take a little extra time, but or yeah, Dave, you're right there. Wrap it in tape, and that'll eliminate the corners. Let's grab some of that spare gaff I keep hanging around, because that's always handy. Gaffy tape. I don't care who you are, I will never stop calling it gaffy tape, because I love the sand people. They tape their cables single file to hide their numbers. Hey, there we go. How do you like that? And we can just remove the tape immediately to keep residue off. I like the ones where where things go well for us. Okay, so that is the wheel. My understanding is that sometimes these, I think you are able to play without the wheel, though some games do require it. So the idea is, Bob, no, we are not sending this back through the hole this time. What we are going to be doing is adding another little hole in the back that we can run this cable up through. At least that's one of the recommended things I have seen. But let's have a look in here a bit more, just to see what we got, where the best place maybe to do that would be. So there's not a lot of place in the back here. We've got space for the din, the pedals, which is not using a standard connector. You can see that the little the latch is all the way out to one side, just for Thrustmaster devices. Thanks, friends. You can use a one that has broken and ground off stuff in there, but I prefer things to work correct the first time. Oh, hey, that's kind of cool. You get to see when I twist this how it kind of moves the gears, and it's actually directly working against the motor. Yes, that is a DIN connector. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins with a center block. So it's not even S-Video / Apple Desktop Bus Drivosynth, which only because I have it here. I think you're thinking of that connector. That's S-Video. This one, slightly different. Show me. There you go. Okay. That was fun. And I'm always happy to show off an Apple keyboard. Right. So, as I said before, the gentleman who did this, whose video I watched who did this, drilled a hole in his system and then this clipped the edges. So I'm going to consider something like that as well. But I wonder if there's a better way to do this. So these just come down and then... What I'd like to do is actually get at and see if there is a connector on this side of the wheel, so that when if I do want to use the wheel, I could just chunk it back from this end. But that's going to require, that'll be examination for another time, I think. For now, let's say right next to the stress relief point here seems to be a good position that I like. So we'll give it a... I did remember my drill. That's a good thing. And so we probably only want to make it as... would it be worth testing the new wheel first and then see if the game needs the buttons rather than the keyboard? Well, Pix and I am interested in still being able to access this this section here. Though, suddenly it occurs to me that there is... I was looking across GitHub today for things that work with wheels. And there were a couple people who'd adapted Arduinos and other AVRs to emulate the buttons of a PlayStation. And they'd go in through the DIN connector, actually, which that might actually be the easiest thing to do. But, would it be worth testing the wheel first? Now, I think we'll just go ahead and open that up because I do like having access. Just looking at the other stuff in here too, and wondering what some of this fun stuff is, other than the fairy rules. Also have to choose which thickness I want to throw in that hole. So I think we're going to want to probably avoid the spade bit. That seems like that's a bit too big of a size. I'm going to say, actually, that whatever size this is probably, it's just under the size of the cable itself, which is, what do you call it? Pleasant? Oh, planning to have a hole big enough to unplug and replug without the outer shell. Yeah, you know what? That's not going to happen, unfortunately, because that hole would be for the spade, wouldn't it? God, that would actually work pretty well, and look ugly as heck. And I don't think I want that. I mean, am I seeing the back? I'm not. Watch as Ian thinks his way through various processes. A bulkhead connector would be awesome. Yeah. Where did I put that bit? Ah, whew. New work zone. Who dis? Yeah, I like my mods to sometimes be reversible if possible, and if not, to at least look half decent. Okay. Plugging in. Come on. Okay. Oh, wow, you could see me a lot more of me than I thought you could while I was down there. I'll keep that in mind for the future. All right, slowly but surely, I turned. Let's sit on that side. So right about here, I think, is where we want it. And we're going to want it as close to the bottom edge as possible. Hey, good job, Ian. You have successfully not created a hole. Nice. And now, going to use the side cutters to just trim away the edge of the plastic there, coming up to the edge, and that should give us enough space to bring it down. So, little snippy, snippy. And then 2 snippy snippies. Hey! And that, my friends, I'd like to say is a pretty clean, pretty unobtrusive hole. And that should be enough, if I am correct here. Oh, would you look at that? Almost looks like that belongs there. Almost. Not quite, but almost. And, yeah, we can probably find a way to get that some strain relief too in future. But for now, let's work on getting this thing partially buttoned back up, because we have a bit of work to do when it comes to this. Let's take a quick drink. Okay, don't need this, don't need this. They go on the floor with the rest of the tools. You never want to see startup or cleanup for a Tinker Tailor. It's a real problem. Ooh, hey, I haven't used this camera yet. Let's see what it looks like right now. Hey, there we go. Good to know that you're over there. Can I bring you? No, let's leave you where you are. Let's move my things. So, cover first. Let's walk ourselves back. Not going to screw everything back together, just enough to get this to a stage where we can confirm that it am working. Let's get that in there for now. Plugs in that way. Good. And then we'll top there. Latches somewhat nicely. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. That almost, as I said, almost looks like it was meant to be there, except that this doesn't make any sense at all. I love it. Okay, so that's the first step of this. These are the first steps. Let's bring you back to away from directly overhead, because we don't need that. And you know what? Let's, just for my own sanity, I'm going to throw 2 screws back in on here just so it won't pop off accidentally. We don't need things popping off when we don't want them to. So maybe that's section there. Just replace it with a Bakelite handset for decoration. That kind of love that random trivia. And then the other side. And curse this design for making the hole too long for me to use my mechanical screwdriver. It's been far too long since I've had that opportunity. All right, so that is now a wheel without a base and a base without a wheel that are somewhat friends now. Let's get the let's just tack that on temporarily. We'll be able to come back and button this up when it's time, I guess. Number 1, next step. In terms of getting this actually fully up and running. Now, this is going to be a real fun thing. Finding positions for that wheel. The next step was for me to do some more 3D printing. And thankfully, I was able to calibrate and get my printer running in such a shape that I made this. It's a wheel hub. You can find it on Thingiverse. And if you search Thrustmaster TMX, you'll find this little beaut. It's got the holes on the top and the bottom for connecting to this bit. It's got a Momo 6-pin pattern, and we're going to attach it to our wheel here. Let's just do that now. So DM, I do that. I need to apply some force to it. Oh, yep. Oh, yeah, that's some force that is needed to be applied. Okay, there we go. Is that the hole that I have encountered? Not quite. Almost. This is going to make... Getting this off might be an issue later, but it lives here now. Yes, sorry, Drossin, that is a PLA that I've used for this. I found that's more than enough for what we're doing. Anyway, we can now access the screw hole for that. So let us do so. And that just screws in nice and... You know what? I have hecked up already on this, quite significantly. I'm not going to tell you why until we get to that point. Yeah, it might be easier with the wheel attached, VM Kid. You are absolutely correct. So that's the bottom. That's the top. This is important to note because wheel alignment matters. All right. And then twist back up. And we're back to the top. Good. Damned wheel. All right. We got that. That looks actually pretty good, I'd say. The next step, which I hecked up, installed 90 degrees off. We don't want that. Yeah, we absolutely do not want that. Let's just double check here. One full turn and a bit. Yep. And then one full turn back. And then let's make sure it goes the other side. One full turn and a bit. One full turn. Okay. We have it in, we have it correct. We are winning. So, yeah. I mean, if I've got it off, then we can always undo the bolts and turn the steering wheel correctly. This part is, this part you can't really get wrong. You can either, it's mirrored 180 degrees, so you're not, there's no worry there. It's keyed that way, too. Such that that won't be a problem. Going to need, though, the remaining bolts, because I have some of the bolts in the white piece, but not all of them, and that is where I hecked up today. Because that's going to be getting them in behind like that, and getting them to catch, and everything is going to be a bit of a fun journey, I think. So let's see if I can just slip my finger back there. Oh, nope. This is absolutely... This is absolutely maybe going to work. So maybe what we're going to do here is I'm going to thread through the hole. And hopefully... Nope. That's not going to work. Let's see if we can get that faceplate off. Otherwise, I see this. Otherwise, I see this becoming very difficult. Yeah, if all the nuts are in place, yes, Texan. Unfortunately, only half the nuts are even in place. And it's a matter of... I don't think I can get them in straight enough. I mean, if I can't get this off, it might end up that we need to try that. I use a washer between the bolt and the faceplate if you want to pull the nut into the faceplate. Good to know. Thank you, Drowson. Okay. We may be locked in here for the moment. Yep, okay, so we're locked into this particular method of doing this. Good job, Ian. So yeah, we're just going to have to line them up carefully, and then hope to hell we have, we can pull them in. Ruin my prints by having the bolt head dig into the pin rather than drawing the nut. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Drowson. I wonder what we'll have to use here. Thankfully, there's a printed boss head on the top here. I could actually just use this directly on there to pull them in, I think, without much problem. All right. That also kind of does say that to me that the old steering wheel has now been locked off for a while. What have I done? Okay, let's... I have made some very big problems, too. Oh, no, good. I can get at these screw heads here without having to take the adapter off. Hopefully, let me show you there. This cover does move around enough such that I can get to those with no problem. Use gravity to your advantage to hold the nut in place. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do is use magnets to my advantage. Do the same thing. The power of magnetism. So that should be able to hold it in position while I grab... Ooh, what I should do is actually get some of those other screws in there that are already ready, and then that'll line things up. I'm a genius. Which, as we know, is often followed by an oh no. Let's key that in there. Yeah, that's true. If you break a piece with 3D printing, you can always just make a new one for yourself. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. Okay, that's good. And finally, of the ones that we've got installed, okay. And here I only put a few of these in because I thought to myself, oh, I'll do it on stream and everyone will love to see that. And then the answer is, they probably will. Just tighten them down enough to make sure that they're holding on correctly. All right, numero uno is gonna get put in their hole now. Is there enough distance? Oh, good. There's just enough distance to catch the thread, it looks like. Please catch the thread. Catch a ride. Just not enough. If I provide some pressure on the backside, is that enough? it seems like it's not quite enough. Oh, just almost enough. Maybe if I get some more juice there. It's the closest thing to manufactured drama that Ian has. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh my god. Well, I've definitely hacked this. Oh, no, wait, there we go. Quickly click that. See, set the thread. There we go. Now we're set. And then we'll just pull that nut into position. If you are going to try pulling a screw in, I would make sure that you are using the correct bit type. You'll note this is a hex bit. This is not a hex screwdriver. Bet this will go a lot easier when I can actually drive the bloody screw. Ah. Woo! Okay. Yeah, we've all done it. Grab the tool you have, or grab the tool you want to use, not the tool you need to use. Okay, we only got a couple more to get in here. Let's get that done, and then just maybe we can take a break. Okay, let's get that in there. Flat side down to flat side down. Go on through the hole. Touch that beautiful, beautiful nut. Get me a flathead screwdriver. That's what I need to apply even pressure in a linear fashion. Okay, good. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good. Okay. And go into get to the position. Click. Hey, we got it. Click. Good. Oh, painfully dyslexic. I appreciate you hanging out with us while you wait for your meeting to begin. Good luck with the rest of the meeting as it happens, because meetings are a necessary evil. Wait, no, they're not. What am I talking about? Meetings can sometimes be a necessary evil, and other times they're just talking for clapping, I guess, is a good way of putting it. Like, one of my favorite games is could this meeting just have been an email? And quite frankly, that's the only... That being one of my favorite games.
That's not a game!
If it is, Corey, I'm a pro gamer. Oh, right, there we go.
Find the camera. Hello.
There's oh, hey, we found it. Ah! No! Get in your place.
Sorry, I was just looking for my phone cable.
Oh, sorry, I stole that so that we could do...
That's fine.
So we could do this.
My phone's at 20% battery.
Check my bag. There should be a one in there. If you need one, because I can't. Hey, there we go. Now it's in. And now let's use the angle side of hex. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful! And now we're done. Now we're done. That's the wheel. Now I'm going to go racing in my automobile now. What we actually are going to do is not going to kill the stream. The stream's going to run forever. Forever. What we are going to do is we're going to take ourselves a short break. Get up, stretch your legs, release the 3D printed part from where it goes. Cycle your fluids, do what you need to do. I'm going to do what I need to do, and we'll be back with more Tinker Tailor Solder Fry in just a few minutes. Don't go away. Friends, we're back at Tinker Tailor Solder Fry headquarters, which is just Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here on the Mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian, and we are in the process of making some changes to a Thrustmaster TMX wheel setup. And we're about to get the wheel on board. So let's just keep on moving. And then maybe we'll button this thing up and move on to one of the other projects that we've got queued up here. And then maybe we have time just to test it, which will be something worth doing. Got my print out of the printer here, by the way, and it managed to give myself a decent chunk of skin taken off, because that's fun. So that's going to connect with this, I guess, with some sort of lock system, and there we go. That'll be nice. Buttony. I'll just need to purchase some nuts. Big, thick ones. Let's jump back into the zone of computing. Wait, no. Up. There we go. And let's take ourselves off there. Oh yes, did Corey get her phone charger? She found something equivalent, I believe.
Are we talking about me?
Yeah, did you get your phone charger back?
No.
Did you find a phone charger?
No, I'm just gonna let it die.
Cool. I believe you.
Look, I only needed it to read Twitter.
Okay. Joke's on her. You can read Twitter anywhere, and you shouldn't. Plug it into a potato. I mean, that would be a fun Loading Ready Live pre-record. See if you can find the most non-conventional way to charge your smartphone. This is exciting for people who can't see my side. All right, we need to find once again which. Never going to get used to that. Which side needs to go up? So I think it's like this. So we're looking at one and a bit. Oh, no. Okay, so one full turn, and then a bit. Yep, one back, and then one full turn. Back where we should be. You know what? I feel like I should at least button up the front bit here, because I don't think we're coming back into this at least tonight, and it's gonna be a while before I get to the other side. Maybe I'll experiment on the wheel in the future, but just so we know that everything's working, and we have everything that we need, let's just go ahead and button this friend back up. Maybe I will take you overhead for that. There we go. That way you can see at least something of what I'm doing. There we go. Yes, that's the zone. This is not the right tool again. Where did my other screwdriver go? This new workspace is going to take some time, I think, to get used to and also to get correct. Okay, that's easy. Do the other side now. Go through the hole. Go backwards until you feel the click. And then in you go. Into the pre-extant holes. I mean, many people now these days are thinking about holes. It is a much more popular thing to do, especially in this community. That said, have you ever thought about where holes come from? And more importantly, where they go? These are the mysteries of the universe. Sometimes it's not easily understood. That's true, Robot. Water does go down the hole, but also the elevator. This is to say that the elevator and the water hold some sort of similarities in their base construct, or even their methods and feelings towards the gravity. Who can say? The question is no longer for us to ask the question, have you ever thought about holes? The question now is to ask yourself, truly and deeply, have you ever really felt about holes? And now I'll retire that here forever. Go. And one more should have this section boutoned up. Okay, there's one thing I want to mention. One thing I really should have done, actually, is that didn't realize this wheel comes with a hole in it. And in that hole usually sits this horn button. And it's actually a button. It's got contacts. And my thought is, hey, why don't we wire this up to something? Like maybe actually, you know what? This would be a good thing to wire in the reset button. Just to put myself back on the road, back on the road, back on the road, back on the road. We do end up mashing that one quite often, but horn also useful. But we're definitely going to put this in. And it's time. It's time now to wire up the wheel. Let's do just that. And by wire, I mean actually just put it on. So, wheel first. Get that relatively aligned. Relatively. There we go. And then we'll get the horn cover. Like, the horn cover is not completely necessary from my understanding, but I think it's worth having. I think it is absolutely worth having. Hey, you know what? I don't get to have the horn because there's no space for it to go. It just jams up against the back and it doesn't work. Good to know. So the horn and this this blue boss will remain, for the moment, unattached, and we'll just have to deal with this until I print off something to go inside. What am I going to print off? Probably a TLTX logo, let's be honest. Or something like that. Ooh, or maybe that other logo I got today. I'll be putting on some stuff later on. This is pretty easy, this part. Let's just start those screws. Already, I'm extremely excited for this. This seems amazing in terms of size, and that's going to what that's going to do in terms of torque and precision is. I'm looking forward to it. Just get those finger tight this time. We can worry about. These fasteners are countersunk? Oh, you're right, they aren't. Oof. Okay, you know what? Yep, that boss definitely worth good. Yeah, because the area is countersunk, but these are absolutely not. Are they on the? Nope. So we'll bring the ring back. We'll bring the ring back. Thank you for noticing that, Dresden. If we can make things just a little bit nicer, always worthwhile, isn't it? Pop Ninja Goldfish, you need the egg melt logo. I thought we could get away without the ring. The ring is, in fact, necessary. Not just there for. It's not just there for clapping. It's there for doing things. I wanted to thank Tex and Reverend again for providing all the parts for today's and others today's project. When you initially suggested this project to me, I was a little just a wee bit flustered in my thinking of, wow, I don't even have a custom wheel on my car. We should absolutely put one in my fake race car. So, but that's because actually I really should remove the airbag from my Mini because it is now. Fun fact, kids: airbags expire. The chemicals in them have a shelf life, and so I mean there's a chance that it might not go off at all in an accident. It might go off poorly in an accident. It might just go off on its own. Star pattern these. Just give them a bit of tightening. Nothing too egregious. We can always reprint if we need to, but I'd rather not. 4 walls and 40% gyroid infill should be enough to handle this. Promise me that you will be exceptionally careful when you handle little explosives. Oh yeah, no, Arclight, that's, if I do take it out, that's going to be a case of heavy grounding everywhere and doing it in a proper facility or outdoors. Point is, I'm just not. Yeah, there are real explosives inside your airbag, and they are not to be messed around with. He could really, really hurt or kill you. I'm not joking. That's why I haven't done that yet. Yes, Adam J. Ford. Like you're looking at decades usually, or a decade, which is why I'm kind of thinking like 1998 to 2008. That's 20 years. That's a long time. Like I've read reports from people in many communities that have gotten in accidents and had their airbags just fizz up the face. Gamer Cow says, I got burns in my face and popped an eardrum when my airbag went off. And that's why. I mean, I hope it saved your life. I mean, you're here, but you got to be careful with it, is what I'm saying. And we have, yeah, in chat we have, oops, that's not where I wanted to go. Evidence that they are dangerous. Google says 10 to 15 years should be inspected. Jibcat, that sounds to me like a fine number to base your own thoughts off of. Gold mail generally bleed in industry airbags are good for 10, 15 years without concern. Yep, okay, yeah. What's the safest way to activate an airbag? Nick, is the answer to that, in all honesty, is don't. Like, if you don't have the facilities, just don't. You will need to send it some, in order to set it off in the manner in which it was meant to be set off, you're going to need to give it some form of electrical signal. And that's why it's best to have the professional do it, as Riker points out, because they will have the equipment necessary to avoid accidental shocks and like cars. There's a lot of voltage just flying around in cars. There's a lot of opportunities for static to build up, and so really good chance for you to maybe if you're just picking it out of the steering wheel and you spark something wrong and it goes off directly into your face. And it's old, so the plastic's deteriorated. Now all the chemicals inside that are meant to literally explode and get big very quickly now explode past the airbag and into and around everything around you. Yeah, exactly. Arclight, that's a very good point. It's not just explosives, it's expired, unstable explosives. Dragonite says, I've designed detonation systems for artillery shells and fireworks, but I don't think I'd go near an airbag. Yeah, especially an expired airbag. They're magical. Well, they're not magical. They're very well defined in how they work and what they're for, but they're good devices with a purpose that should be inspected and replaced. So yeah, I've been told too that because of the way that your seating angle changes in minis when you add the extension brackets, like what I have done to give myself just a bit more leg room. Is that a hole? That's a hole. Thank God. I'm worried I have another screw left over again. Yeah, I've been told that the seating brackets, by adding an extra inch or so to send you backwards, you actually put yourself into a danger zone with these airbags, where it could end up snapping your neck if it goes off. I'm not sure how much I believe that, because there's a lot that happens in an accident to begin with, and it's not something I like to test. But yeah, probably worth just removing it. Especially seeing as the Japanese ones, the Japanese minis don't have the immobilizer in them, I don't believe. And then I can get a cool steering wheel for the Mini. Oh, Ardale, that's I'm sorry to hear that. I don't think anyone should ever have to have an interaction with an airbag that they don't want. Or sorry, that they didn't consent to beforehand. It's good that they're there. It's good when they go off the right way, but that's a good size. I like that. That feels really good. That feels less. This feels less like a game now, more like an actual steering wheel, and that's really kind of cool to have. Okay, wheel. Successful swap. So that's good. That's stage 1 of tonight's projects. Let's move on to stage 2. And we can test these out all at the same time. Stage 2, we have the shifter. The once again, graciously provided by Tex and Reverend. The TH8A Thrustmaster shifting platform. Beautiful little shifter. It's got 8/8 for shiftiness, and it's pretty good. But what it could use more is a little bit more, I want to say, a little bit more clunk to it. So let's put this over here in a place where, oh, that's where place where you can see it. Yeah, it's got decent clunk, but it could be better. And so for that reason, we've been provided with a 3D file, STL, for this doohickey right here, and some of these little ball spring screws. They got these threads on the side, and they got a spring in the middle, and then they've got a ball on the tip here. And what we're going to do is we're going to screw those through the holes on the side here, and hopefully that's going to make things a bit more clunky when we actually get this installed. I'm excited to see how this works. Do need a hex driver for this. Thank God for metric. All right, and in it, and away it goes. There we go. Okay, and let's just make sure that's getting twisted correctly. Twisted. We don't know what you might have accidentally consumed here. We're just going to start an IV and put some things in to help. That's never a good. That's never a good phrase to hear. You may have been exposed to some bad stuff, so we're going to pump you full of what we know is good stuff until hopefully you're better. Okay, I think these go in until the ball is showing. Let's toss over to top down here. Okay, so you can see that just the edge of the ball is in there, and we can probably adjust that as need be. But I'm not going to push things too far past that. But that's good and straight. Nice. Okay. Oh, 20 years. I mean, or Daniel, at that point you've already shipped Theseus all of your cells, if I recall how often the body does that. They go in until just before the screw portion would get proud of the print. That's what I'm thinking, yep. Because the ball will give, the screw body it does not. You don't want to scrape against the screw body. Thankfully, because of the design of this, we can just we can actually adjust this in post, which is kind of fun. Okay, good, good. And then other side. I haven't worked much with 3D prints on Tinker Tailor because I've always questioned the value of the 3D printedness for the show, because you know, there's not much interesting, in my opinion, about watching a machine go back and forth until spewing out liquid plastic. Fortunately, the body of the shifter has enough room to reach the tool down into it. Hooray! Ian, is your LG monitor connected via DisplayPort or HDMI? Mine's connected to HDMI, and all the windows shift around when it goes to sleep. So, this is a, I'm not sure which OS you're on the Mac OS. It's not doing that, and it is connected via HDMI. This is actually not a monitor, though. I'm experimenting with using a 43-inch LG television, 4K television as a primary monitor, and it's working out pretty good so far for me. I'm actually pretty happy with it. There's a few things that don't work as well as a regular monitor. Like the edges are a bit reflective in weird ways, but as a 4K monitor in general, for the cost, 43 inch. So yeah, based on the cost of what an actual 43 inch or a 4K monitor costs, I'm pretty happy with it. Texan's using a 55 inch 4K TV, and you quite like it. Yeah, it's a good system. I'm kind of honked that LG announced smaller OLEDs this year. So, but that will also not be nearly in the same price range. So you'll see. Next up, we need to take the top off. Another Hexy fun joint. Not to be confused with member of the chat, Hexy Lexi, who I believe has aggressive, affectionate feelings towards a number of people, if I'm getting it right. Why did I go with LG? Well, I kind of like LG. I loved past tense. Loved what they were doing with WebOS, and now that they've decided to get a bit more ad focused, I'm less impressed with that. But yeah, the fact that nowadays every TV is the same panel with different with a different bezel and a different processing system. That Arclight asks, do you think they're using hex heads in order to dissuade most people from getting in there while not going full on security screws so hobbyists can get in there easily? I don't know about that, Arclight. Like, I've never considered hex to be any form of a detriment, but that might just be me. And if as a hello, as a fan of DIYing, regardless, one of the first things I bought was a set of Torx security, because Torx by itself isn't good enough for me. But yeah, hex definitely getting more normal. Oh, cool! I didn't know you could just twist this around as well. And really get your customization on in terms of which direction you want to be going in. Okay, so I'm uncertain as to how or what I'm supposed to do at this point. Now, let me see here. What's going on? So I do think that this goes... Let's take the gate off as well. Be careful of the wire when you're lifting this bit out. Oh, okay. Good to know. because I'm noticing that there is a little switch right here. I think that's how the system knows when it's in sequential versus. Yeah, I feel it. The cosmos. I feel it. And I see it. And I'm unsure what to do about it. It's very tiny. Ah, okay, so I think I know what I'm supposed to do. But I know what I'm supposed to do, but I don't think I can do it. I think I'm supposed to get this bit down below the single zip tie anchoring it to which needs to be clipped in order to insert the new piece. Good call. Okay. Let's see if I can find that zip tie. Oh, I see it. Yep. Hi. Nope. You're not going to see it from that angle. What if we did this? Yep. Yeah, you can see it right there. Right covered by my pinky. That's the zip tie we need to remove. Carefully and loudly. Oh man, it is greasy in here. Love it. Okay. I am very sorry for having to do this in a manner that you will not be able to see me, or I will not be able to show you me doing it, but this is the way that I'm able to do it without cutting the wire. Actually, you know what? I'm getting in there with a... No, I can do it from here. Whew! Just barely. And the gate can be slid up the stock. Do I have some grease handy? Unfortunately do not have extra grease. But hopefully that won't be too necessary. Okay. Sorry, the zip tie has become stuck where it is. And is therefore not releasing the wire in a helpful manner. There we go. There we go. Not quite. Need to get it all the way out. Oh, come on! Release me from this hell of my own making! So, it's stuck on itself, is what the problem is. Yeah, tweezers might be the answer here. Or... You know what? There we go. Got it. Where it's gone, nobody knows, but this can now be lifted, and there we go. Okay. Now, surface of the print and each end which contact the metal walls. I see. Yep. Okay. The print has side-to-side motion. I think I see how this now enters. What I'm going to do then is I'm just going to I'm going to steal some grease from the top of this stack here and add that to these sections here, which need the grease specifically. And then we'll probably throw some more in there in the future, but for now, that should be something. That will get us started. All right. Okay, that's good. Feels good. Oh, oh my, yes. That's a good action. Okay, so, good to know we have that. That works really well. I'm gonna wipe off some of that grease, so I'm not staining anything here. Now, there's one more thing I'm going to do here. We also got sent an accidental package here with some other stuff in it. For this thing, the 3D file does have a sort of a ring that slips down, and you can use an M1 screw on. But when you've got some extra parts from another form of this similar kind of mod, but made with plastic, they give me a spring, and I'm going to use that spring. Because springs are good, and I like springs. Let's use a cape there. Spring worthwhile. Okay. So we'll just use this to come down the top. Ooh, ow. That's a tight spring, which I believe is what you want, because you want to keep this print piece in place. Fingers? Fingies. Ouch, ouch, fingies. Pliers? Pliers. Be careful of fingies. Okay. There goes. Yeah, Texan, I believe this definitely looks like it's going to be a... this is a mod that's going to be worth keeping an eye on in future. Or at least possibly coming back for possible tune-ups. But that looks good. Look at that. I really like that. So it goes left and right as per normal. And just really, really good positive action there. I'm very pleased with that. A dot of solder, maybe? I wouldn't right now. Like I said, we're probably going to be getting back in here to grease it up anyway, and I think we'll re-examine where things are when it's time for that. That said, worst case, the print might need to be redone. Fortunately, the screws will could just be transferred to new print. Yep, and it's not like we don't have extras, which I am absolutely going to be thinking of uses for those. Well, we got this open. Why don't we add some other parts to it? Like this short throw shifter adapter kit. Thrustmasters. Now this is going to be an interesting one, because what this does is it reduces the distance and angle of the throw, and also gives me new hex screws. That just sits up top like this, above everything else. And Yeah, there's a bit of still a bit of debris on that there. But that'll pull right off. There we go. Oh, now I was questioning to myself if I wanted to. We've also got some H-gate blockers from the company as well that you can screw in underneath. But we've also got these friends, which which attach to this piece. So let's say we're driving, say, the Mini, which only has 4 gears and not 8. We can slide these little blockers just up into their respective zones, and they will keep things block off the gears that we don't have access to. They are pretty tight, so I might want to actually give some of those a sanding before I attempt to get those jammed in there forever. Also, we're still in the midst of trying a bunch of different cars, so that's for another time. I'm just making sure I've got things in the correct direction here, because there used to be a hole that allowed me to access. Aha! There's a red hole here on this, or red screw on the side, I want to say, that can allow you to adjust the force necessary for the shifting. I think I might have chosen the wrong side on it. Oh, wait, no. Is that it? No, that's not it either. Well, you know what? We'll just have to use it as is. There we go. That seems correct. Good. Okay. Can you pop those in and out in the fly, like when you change cars and reconfigure the shifter? Arclight, that's the idea behind these little guys. Is, yeah, they are pop them in and out as need be. These ones are going to be a little bit more robust, but they will require screwing to fit. So maybe if we're doing a long-term race in a certain type of car, we might fit those, but not without. All right. So if I recall, the wire goes to the front. Or no, the back, it looks like. Yes, the wire goes to the back. Okay, that's all in there good and tight. Well, not tight, but... Oh, you mean like the 24 hours of Le Mans? Yes! All right. And come to me, screws. And we get the Ricmo on top of that. Good Lord. Okay, yeah, we need to reattach these screws first. The regular black Phillips screws need to go in. Okay, and then we'll just go backwards until it gets nice and finger tight. Does Philip know I'm using his screws? I certainly hope not. Probably owe him a lot of money. He owes me for a bunch of broken screw heads, too. Driver heads. Besides, the guy you really want to get involved with for that sort of thing is Mr. Robertson. He makes the best screws. Well, best screw heads, let's be honest. For a lot of applications. I won't even say most anymore. So many different needs. Yeah, he is a bit of a square, though. You're right, Odorastrix. The worst type is Dovetail. Dovetail? I don't think I've ever run in... Oh, no, wait, I have run into an occasional Dovetail screw. And they are infuriating. Okay, come on. There we go. Wow, this got heft to it now. All right. Does anything special need to happen? Well, no. You just have to use the correct hex. Oh yeah, no. Unidirectional flathead should only exist in vintage projects, vintage furniture, and maybe certain adjustment. Like I can't think of any good reason to have a flathead. Is this one actually going in, or is it stuck? I think that one's stuck on something. Not quite in the hole. Did that get it? I think it did. There we go. Oh, the wing one is a unidirectional, and then you can only screw it and you can't take it out. I remember reading about that in the latest, his Dark Materials prequel. La Belle Sauvage. It's actually quite a fine book. I really enjoyed it. Ah! Gotta use the short side anyway. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed Screw Talk here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to do something about the Ricmotech band around the side, but that'll be an easy fix. Well, I do understand there's something about there's something to be said about, what do you call them? Sponsorships in racing. I'm unfortunately, you'll find that unless you have a good logo, I'm going to be loath to let you sponsor, especially if I'm not getting anything out of it. There we go. And in it goes. Egg melt. Yes, Bob the Ninja Goldfish, egg melt. Okay, so the plan is to have the button box done by Sunday. Bob the Ninja Goldfish, the plan is to possibly have the button box done tonight. And I don't think there's much standing in our way of getting that done as well. Because we've just about got this buttoned up. And I'm going to give it a quick trial shift here on the desk before we go to commercial. Old Man Johnson MB, that man happens to have a fairly decent graphic design team, I might say. Okay, I think this is now buttoned up here. So Arclight, the reason it's desirable is the same reason it's desirable on a on the Mini that I have. It's some people like short shifting or short throw shifters. Yeah, I should be very clear about this here. What it does is it shortens the throw of the shift. by changing some of the angles. And look at that. It's now just a quick, rather than a long shift, it's just very whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to examine this, but it's one side isn't walking quite as nice as the other. But Roadhog, thankfully, because this is a what's called a Hall effect shifter, it uses the Hall effect to just judge the position of where the shifter is. It deals with it just fine. It's just a simple recalibration process, which we may or may not have to go through. I really like that. That's, yeah. Faster, more clicky. I'm happy with that. Okay. Shifter. I won't say complete, but shifter upgraded. Wheel upgraded. Next up, the box of buttons. But before we do that, we are going to we're going to head on over to the commercial zone because I need a quick break to change my fluids, get up, stretch. You need to do the same. Stay safe with your own body. And we'll be back with just a bit more Tinker Tailor Solder Fry in just a few minutes. Don't go away. Welcome back to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian, and we are going through tonight the process of upgrading a Thrustmaster TMX setup with a bunch of great upgrades. What are we doing here? First of all, we've replaced the wheel on the main wheel unit with a big old steering wheel from a car. We have added further locking and feedback to the shifter and shortened its throw significantly. Also good. But we missed out on a bunch of buttons from the old steering wheel. So now it's time to fix that problem. And for that, simply we're going to, I printed a box. It actually works really kind of nice. And I was just over the break figuring it out and realized that these holes here are meant to be mounted in between this piece and this piece on the shifter. It's built to be the same the same angle. And so yeah, that's gonna be great to have buttons right there. So let's make that. Button box completed. Bag of buttons is surprisingly inexpensive. Get all your colors and whatnot. Just make sure that your button size is effective for your holes. I don't know what color scheme we want to use here, but I do like the tactile nature of these buttons. They've got good push feel to them. Let's take y'all. Oh, no, whoop, sub notifier, come back. Hey, there we go. Let's just go back down to the gameplay section here. So, how do we get these into a computer? Well, thankfully, people have already thought of that. And the answer that they have come up with is just one of these. Your brand probably doesn't matter, but head on to your local retailer of everythings and search for a video game, or not video game, USB to arcade controller, zero latency or what have you, converter. And what you get out of that is this fun little friend, this USB joystick board, which has got the little plugins for a bunch of these little wires that you need, which will then connect directly up, thankfully, to the button itself. And then you use that to make it into USB. And I think this, yeah, I think this piece here, the USB converter, that ran. I mean, you can tell. Well, you can tell it's inexpensive because it certainly isn't coming in an anti-static bag. But the whole setup was probably around, I want to say, $30, 15 for the board, 15 for the buttons, Canadian. So an affordable way to make an interesting thing. And the fun part about that now is that this is just reprogrammable. Windows treats it, and the macOS just treats it as a joystick, and then you can just program it to whatever things you want. Cool. I've actually got like a couple 5 volts out on here if I want. Yeah, that's the USB plug, and then you can actually see here, there's switches for mode, turbo, clear, and auto. So there might be some logic to this that I am unaware of. I am not surprised that the control chip is just a covered over in ceramic. That's this has got to be infringing on someone's IP. So let's think about what we want these buttons to look like, color-wise, etc. Because we've got some time here. My thought was to have a system. Oh, if you recall, you can program these boards to have buttons emulated as any keyboard key as well. That's pretty useful too. My initial thought when I was thinking this up in my head was to have sort of a D-pad configuration in the center and then buttons around it, but this doesn't really lend itself, this layout, very well to a D-pad. That said, like I said, there's plenty of room to label these buttons, so that's going to be important for the future. But for the moment, I don't know. Do we want to do... what have we got here? We got 2 green. Yeah, what is the... What have I got in terms of colors? 2 greens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 reds. 2 yellows. 2 blues. 2 whites. And 5 non-pigmented, or at least black pigmented. I think what I want to make this, you should just use give the erase director a finger. Let's go with black and white at the bottom, and those can stand in for our start select. And then 1, 2, 3. What if we did a Roy G and a Roy G. I feel like the Roy G is good there. Could do an inverted T for the D-pad. You know what? That's actually a good idea. Let's do that. Let's have an inverted T here. Because I do know that there are certain times I do like going through my my menus in Project Cars with these things. So yeah, inverted T, and then confirm and cancel, and then we'll have blue, yellow. Let's move those up into the other corner here. Blue, yellow, and then white, white. I think I like that. I think I like that. Arclight, you'd have the top 4 the same color. I like, for aesthetic reasons, I like the idea of top 4 same color, but for usability reasons, I do like being able to just say to someone, hit the yellow button, hit the blue button. Also, hit the Yeah, you know what? I think I like it. Yeah. Left, white, left, right, red, D-pad, and then 4 colors. That seems sensible. Also, these are screw in place and push and friction fit. So if we want to configure this again in the future to whatever we want, that's not going to be an issue. Also, geez, I could add any sort of fun switches to this that I wanted to that I don't already have. And knobs and whatnot. Okay, you know what? We're going to be expect a future Tinker Tailor where we edit this file and make our own button box of fun. And good God, sorry, just thinking about this now, that makes there's a lot I could do with this. Yeah, no, never let Ian get involved in button design is what I'm learning here right now. Okay, someone's suggesting move the T upper row and the white at the bottom. Hit the white button for Kronk. I think that's not a bad idea there, yeah. Dedent encoder or 2? Oh, drastic. I mean, like we could add we could add a rotary switch. We could also add a rotary encoder, right? Sorry, we've also switched beverages tonight to the Wayne Gretzky number 99 Craft Brewing, because apparently he's doing this now too. Wayne Gretzky, he's had more entrepreneurial business ventures than most NHL players have scored goals. It's not great. All right, so yeah, let's do that. I think I agree that moving the D-pad upper row is a good idea. Is it? White, green, red. No, I think I like that actually. I think that's good. Because then you've got left, white, left, red. You've got let's have yellow over here, blue over here, green and red. I think this makes the most sense. And put green and red next to the stem of the T. Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea. We do that. Yep. Yep. Then these can actually become scroll buttons if necessary. Flip the T for WASD conversion. That's that's actually also a better system. Okay, now this is going to be on my left hand normally. So actually, and because this is my left hand, normally I would do, actually in that case, yeah, because this is my left hand, I'm going to be using this with, we're moving it all over, like this. I'm going to put our whites here, top and bottom. Yeah, for scroll, possible scroll. This will be that way, and that's the one thing I wanted to change. That's right. Okay. And the reason for that is that I think I want green to be confirm, in which case I want confirm to be my index finger rather than my cancel finger or back finger. And I think I'm happy with that. I think that's a good layout. Let's button it up. Okay, cool. Do that again. Yellow, blue, black, black. What? White, black. Green, red, green. Great. Let's try that again. But this time, let's do this. Also, let's do it in the direction that it'll work. Oop. And then, there we go. We've only lost one now. Okay. This is absolutely a top-down shot. All right, let's put that back a bit too. Okay, let's get some rings down. Pick and place. God, I should absolutely make a pick and place robot and then attach it to Twitch and then just let Twitch build circuit boards badly. You remember those robots you could get at Radio Shack? The ones that would, I know it had a name too, but it had the single arm and then it would have a claw on the end. And you could use it to. It would be kind of fun to hook one of those up to Twitch as well, I think. Armatron. Like, honestly, I'm surprised it hasn't been done yet. If it has been done, tell me so that I don't waste my time. And if it hasn't been done, don't tell anyone else. Because I want to do this. I mean, y'all are allowed to beat me to that if you want, but $70 on Amazon, you say? The question is, what would we do with it? Nothing good is I'm sure. Which plays wood carving? Oh, yes. Sorry, now I'm moving beyond the Armatron now. We are now going into Twitch Does Wood Carving, where we buy a wood lathe and a automated arm to put wood on the lathe, and then also tools, and we just let Twitch ruin a lathe. Oh God, make it coin op? Jeez, that's really good, actually. Like, require a donation before you can actually. I mean, just making it subs only would be enough to a good start to make some money off that. One that shoves chips in the mouth and one that slaps. I mean, those are good ideas too. No, they're not. What's good about a slap bot? That's a terrible. It's hilarious for someone. But okay, this is going to be the fun part. Is getting these in. I hate these. I hate these in the best part. Oh, Texan, no, that did not get tested. We'll probably be testing that live once we actually get everything screwed in here. And then we'll all know. There's been a lot to talk about here today. Which ones can I easily get? The answer's probably going to be none of them. Oh, fine. Prove me wrong. You just need to get on there to start with. Nice. Flattish. Yeah, we'll do it live, but we'll do it live in such a way that I'm not dependent on them working for an entire stream. But I've got a good feeling. Ah! Okay. Is there a way that I can do this? Does anyone have any advice into making this easier, or is this just Ian's gonna have a bad time with these? Can I hex these bad boys? One size up. These look like 14 mils. They are indeed 14 mils, or at least they work with 14 mils. Is that... Well, I mean, that kind of worked. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's easier if the buttonholes are keyed. That's a good point. I mean, the thing is, I'll eventually be able to flip it over. Once I've got them all kind of on here, I finger tight, I can flip it over and then start providing some pressure. But, yeah. You know what? I'm done. I'm done messing around. We'll do it one at a time here. Get on out. Much easier. Yes. Get tight. I think I might also, this, again, because this is one of my first, what I would consider to be successful 3D prints. A good call there, Lurbot. No, I don't intend on dyeing it with my blood, although that is always always a possibility on this program. Thinking about getting myself a can of good filling primer. Maybe give this a prime, give it a couple sands, do it a couple times, and make this a nice textured black to go along with the rest of the getup. This one needs to be tightened. Dragonite, I'm not... Yeah, I'm fairly new to 3D printing. It's one of those things where I do definitely agree with the turn of phrase that owning a 3D printer is an exercise in setting up your 3D printer. And I only recently figured out, oh wait, if you when you're leveling your bed, make sure there's some space. You want that piece of paper that you're calibrating with the first time to barely scrape things, not you want to feel the barest friction. Not have it be tight or even anything close to tight. You do need space to extrude fluid. Kind of want to get into 3D printing, but so far the only thing I can think to do with it is maybe print parts for fixing worn N64 joysticks. Oh, Black Spring and Red Spring. Throw that to me in Mastodon or Discord, Texan, because that's information I'll probably get into either later tonight or yeah, we might actually get into that. Yeah, one Black Spring, one Red Spring. 2, 3 walkers. Yeah, just trying to figure that out, or put that remember myself in the head. Yeah, I do like the idea of resin printers. I think that if I were to Shoot. Damn it, green. Well, new green up top. Both types of 3D printing have their pluses and minuses. FDM is easy, but results in prints that require a lot of cleanup in order to look smooth, etc. But resin, while has that good resolution that I'm real interested in, requires a lot of messy, sticky cleanup, and also has limited amounts of space for that. Limited amount of build space. Which I'm glad I did this because I need to unscrew this one anyway. Oh yeah, the fumes with resin 3D prints. I mean, the problem is, Buzz, that there are also fumes involved with FDM printing, just a different kind. Yeah, it's like we are nowhere near the easy replicator thing. If you want to make something quick, I think 3D printing is definitely where it's at. If you want to make something well, that's a different story entirely. I mean, it's that same equation you get everywhere, right? Easy, cheap, and good. Pick two. Fast, cheap, good. Yeah, that's the one. Because easy, when it comes to 3D printing, easy doesn't really come into it in my experience. I mean, yeah, resin printing, I think, if I were to get into that, it would be only for making miniatures. So fragility in my mind is less of an issue there. But then again, also, I'm not doing much in the way of miniatures gaming right now. So, moot point. Yeah, what I've always wanted is a CNC rig. As many axes as is possible for me. But the possibilities of having one of those inside of a residential condo are low. Iris of Ether, why does that not surprise me that you were loading up on printed minis and terrain for whenever it's coming back? Oh, wait, no, I lie. The other rapid prototyping thing that I'm interested in, and the one that I'm actually most interested in, is our laser cutters, the laser benches. And I did a lot of research on the K40 Chinese drop-shipped laser printer, or not laser printers, laser beds, and they seem quite interesting. It's still a field that's got a lot going for it. I still think that, that for most of what I'm looking to make, it is additive manufacturing is the exact opposite of what I want to do. I'm usually looking at taking a more stable material and removing parts from it. Okay. Buttons there. Now we just got to wire these wires onto them. And then hopes and prayers, everyone, I guess. Oh, Dragonite, my big issue is ventilation and fumes. Although, I guess where I'm currently at, it's not so much of a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I got 2 more. Last 2, we put the others ones over there. For now, we'll get to you later. I mean, Justin, that's the thing. It's janky, or it's scary how janky the K40s are, but it's also kind of amazing how easily you can make them not a pile of jank pretty quickly. Falling short on... You're falling a bit short there. What you really want is a laser metal sintering printer. Ooh, yes, please. Ah, cool, Iris. I'd been following some of your builds things, and you'd mentioned talking about getting things 3D cut, and I thought it might be a Glowforge, but I wasn't entirely sure. But yeah, we've got another friend of the show who also has a Glowforge, and although they were looking to do some fabric work with it, I believe. I'm excited to see what comes of that. As being able to to cut a suit out seconds flat on a 3D print on a laser cutter seems like a cool idea. A chessboard for the desert bus. Airspeeder's desert bus thing was Glowforge. That makes sense. Like, God, I can only imagine how much easier it must be to work with a chessboard that's been 3D cut rather than anything by hand. Dark Morphboard, that sounds like one definitely do once we have access to a fire safe site again. I am not concerned about with which side I'm plugging into which here. Sorry, I just realized I was doing a bunch of this off camera while I chat away with you all. Because these are just momentary switches, and they're not even on a common ground, so it doesn't matter. We just jam everything up inside here. Just gonna hope that these spades, which are just off the right size, hold. But you know what? They're fine. I can. They're good at the moment for experimentation, and I can always hit them with a little solder if I need something a bit tighter in the future. Dragonite, that's my big issue with the Glowforge, is the cloud-based nature of it. As soon as someone puts out and I think that they probably already have, a third-party server that you can work with, then that's something I wouldn't have a problem picking up a used Glowforge. I think I actually put some thought into, someone was selling a Pico Brew up here recently, another service that was cloud-based, a cloud-based homebrew for beer brewing, and then the company went under, because of course they did. Because of course every cloud company is going to go under at some point in the future. Woof! Dental grade plaster would make one hell of a heavy chessboard, I bet. Okay, I think that's all of them. This is not great. some 3M aerospace grade epoxy, and they'll stay where they're told to stay. Croc 7272 though, but if it's an epoxy, that means it's not going to be it's going to be non-conductive, right? I don't want that. Okay, let's hook it up. So, what are they numbered at all? Okay, here we go. Interesting. I wonder what this is going to report itself as, because we've got some interesting markings on here. We got here. So this is your USB. This is your power, I guess, if you wanted to power it via a different system. We've got AU, AC, AR, AL, auto, clear, turbo, and mode. And then Ks 1 through 12. Well, sorry, K1 through 4, L2, R2, L1, R1, SC, ST, and then K11, 12. Guessing those are start, select, R1, R2. Kick 1, kick 2, kick 3, kick 4. These are wired in the style of a JAMA board. I see into the matrix now. So let's start on the bottom. We'll work our way up. Bleep. Orp. Ooh, these really ka-chunk in. What interface board is this? I wasn't here for the start of the show. This is USB joystick, Dark Morfort. The box calls it a Quimet Zero Delay Arcade PC fighting games QR05. New! But yeah, just search for USB arcade board on your favorite shopping site, and you'll probably run into one toot sweet. Yeah, the IC is, as we said, under a big old blob. Nobody gets to know what this chip does. Nobody knows the input signals I've seen. Oh, wow, we are just starting to... we're starting to run out of time here. We are. So I better pick up the pace on this a bit. Don't want to completely beat it, though. God, I've started watching Skate Infinity, the new from this season of anime. It's what if JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but also Prince of Tennis on skateboards all the time for some reason. It's bizarre. But what I love most about it right now is the way that people keep talking about skating beef with people. Oh no, he came to skate beef with me. Please stop saying the word beef with the inflection that you're using. It's kind of unsettling. Skate the beef. No, I don't skate beef. I don't skate at all, generally. All right. Oh, that's the other thing I need to do with this thing is find some screws. You can tell I'm new to 3D printing because I don't have a pile or a box full of various M-size screws. So, all right. Let's plug in the USB. Oh no! This portion up here is for your AU, AD, ARAL, and then VDD. That's your up, down, left, right. Cool. This is a good little board. this is USB over here. Giraffe, since now that I've actually got myself some experience doing DuPont connectors, I like them. I actually like them. So this, you can see it's got the cutout for the board in the back here. So just have to glue that in. We'll have to glue that in at some point, but it does have strain relief. The cord comes with, so I am happy about that. Ow. The strain relief doesn't want to go into the hole that it was designed for, thereby causing more strain, generally on me. Okay, you know what? We're just going to push through the hole there for now, and then we're going to push that one back in. Everything else is still connected. So I'm just going to push it in. That one doesn't want to stay connected, does it? I'm probably going to have to hit these with some solder, probably. All right. Oh yeah, that is. Plug one in, the other one pops out. Cool. That's. Ah! Plug one in, the other end pops out. You, sir, are getting just a bit of a crimp job to make you a little pinchier. Yeah. You can pinchy them a bit. That's what I do in pinchy. Okay. You sort of get the other, you get the pinchy treatment too now. Just a wee bit pinch. It's already a rat's nest. You can't tell what goes to what. Okay. Everybody, just stay where you are. Nobody move. Nobody gets hurt. It only has to be this good for a moment. Once we get screws, once we get things proper, it'll all be okay. Right? Right. Christian and Christian Dior, man, they don't make them like this anymore. Ah, okay. It's buttoned. Quick. That'll keep it closed for test. Right. Let's bring you all back for... Right, we should do a quick test of everything here. So, let's bring up the television and let's do a quick reboot into Windows. I'm doing that. I'm going to clean up some of my extra buttons here. And mention that everything we do here at Loading Ready Run is brought to you by you, the viewer. I want to thank you so much for your generosity in terms of your subscriptions over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. We super appreciate having y'all here for that. And appreciate you continuing to be patrons, and therefore allowing us to keep the lights on. Also, don't forget youtube.com/loadingreadyrun. You can also become a member there. That's where you can become a person who gets to ask us questions during the Asklers, which happen occasionally. Okay, let's get this going here. What else do we have to thank people about? Check out loadingreadyrun.com for all the great shows. That's where you can find the schedule of what's coming up next. There's a Friday night paper fight tomorrow for people who like Magic. I don't know what this is or what's being played, but I'm sure that it will be exciting to all involved. else is there to say? Thinking about. Okay, now I see the chat directly in front of me. Perfect. Get up there. Okay. Whoop. There we go. And let's just kind of that up. YouTube.com/Loading Ready Run is where we have all of our premium shows. All the things that aren't just a stream generally. YouTube.com/Loading Ready Live is where all the streams live. And you can check out Loading Ready Run. What? Loading Ready Run done what? LoadingReadyRun.com/live. That's where the schedule is. You can check out YouTube.com/LRRMTG to find out where all of our stuff lives there. Right? I was going to go into Windows. Let's do that right now. Boop, boop, restart. Shifter. I'm going to test that quickly. Get that plugged in there. And lastly, we need some pedals. Test these out. Too many cables. What else do I need to? I am sure I am forgetting many things, but we're getting to the end of the show and starting to realize I'll need to read some subs in just a second here, too. Oh, yes, continue to restart. Sorry, friends who are currently on the page, you'll have to deal with not being seen on my monitor for a bit. All right. We got one USB for pedals. We got one USB for shifting. Come on. And we got one USB for wheelio. And the power for the wheelio. Oh! Don't need the drill plugged in anymore. That's for sure. Oh! That's a big spinny boy. I like it. It feels big. Feels very big. Oh yes, sorry. Sorry, I need to make sure I boot into Windows here. Nice cross stitch, thank you. Thank you, Iris. That's Sarah Serinda made that for us here. Is the AUT2? Yes, it is hooked up to a Hackintosh machine. This is a Dell monitor of size I don't know. It turns out it's actually the right size to be vertically about the same as the Samsung. So that makes things nice for that. Is the helmet of the Black Space Ranger. Mega Ranger Black that I was seeing on your monitor. No. No, I don't believe I had any helmets up. Didn't completely give away my security. Okay, yes. We don't need to executing joystick gremlin just yet. Give me some Steam and how it feels to make it real. Why am I out of USB? Wait, I'm not out of USB. There's USB on top of the monitor. Haha! A chunk. It glows red. That means something happened. They're setting up a device, generic USB joystick. Great. Okay, let's get the... hold on a second. I just need to have you not see me type in my password here. Let's send you to gameplay left. There we go. And we're just going to turn off the face cam for a second. There you go. And there we go. And don't show. Also, don't show my passwords on the stream. Password managers are great, but you should be careful. And SteamGuard needs to get its life figured out. No, seriously, where is... Oh, because it's up... Because I'm using my phone as one of today's cameras. No, no! Okay, now we're logged in. Let's bring you all back for the final thing here. Okay, Batman. Go away, Bruce Wayne. Let's boot up Project Cars and see what happens when I try to select some things. That said, Drowsy, yes, I did know that it was possible to have your everything, your password shown or revealed via acoustic analysis. Oh, the instant game response is launched. That means we can be instantaneously gamers. God, this is so much bigger. I love it. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, you're all slightly mad. Okay. Take me to the jungle where you've got input options. First off, pedals. No, Thrustmaster is correct. We still have a Thrustmaster. Configuration, everything's normal there for the moment. Let's make sure throttle. Okay, throttle's good. Brake is a new one. And clutch. Good. First gear. Yes. I think my gears may be reversed. Yup. Okay. We'll need to look at that later. Fourth gear. Fifth gear. Sixth gear. I mean, we're not going to need these. Reverse gear is the next one we'll need, probably. And reverse me. Okay, and just because I'm curious here. Game. Reset car. Blue. Pause. Let's make sure this works right. Okay, let's see how this works in game. No, give me a quick play. Give me a quick play. Good enough. I've been practicing. And let's just make sure everything works, and that's it. Then we'll debut on Saturday. Sunday. Oh, Texan, yeah, I think, yeah, the shifter got 180'd, and also you are correct that the force feedback is all the way up, but I'm going to be doing a full recalibration of things as well now that we've made this many changes. Okay, can't hear this. 3, 2, 1. Boop, boop. Go forward, juice. Oh, ow. Okay. All I want is one good. All I want is one good lap. Ooh. Okay. Second. Friends, this is already way more. Oh god, that's so much better in terms of a wheel. Come on. Okay, let's go. We'll go to the corkscrew and then we'll consider ourselves out. Right? Otherwise, gotta watch that one. Hearing things helps too, I believe, sometimes. But I believe we are as we should be, okay. There we go. Yeah, driving a silent car is not the greatest system. Definitely need to take into account where and the angles of things. Oh god. Oh. Yeah, no, this wheel is just the right size now that I can really feel what I'm doing properly. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'm in love. Everything's working great. Everything's working perfectly. What an episode. I love it when everything works so well like this. Yes, the pedals absolutely do work, Dixon. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching today's Tinker, Tailor, Solder Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Live Video Entertainment Network. Thank you so much for everyone who has watched so far. Thank you so much to you, Texan, because for the wheel, the shift, the whole shift assembly, and the pedals that we're currently using, which we'll have to talk a bit more about during our Sunday stream, but we're on some new pedals as well that are load sensor and Hall effect equipped, and they are choice. I feel like I'm driving a brand new car, so thank you. And thank you for supporting, and that goes to everyone. Thank you for supporting everything we do here at loadingreadyrun.com. It's a lot of fun to do this, and I'm so glad that I get to do it and share it with you all at home. So I want to thank those of you who are so kind as to give us your subs and bits this particular stream. Started with Adam J. Ford, who subscribed for 75 months, saying, "Time for me to pay you your Amazon allowance. I happily accept your Bezos bucks." Red Safe UK subscribed for 37 months. Thank you for that. More mouths, more Amazon monies. I appreciate more of the Bezos bucks. Thank you as well to KZ12 for coming back to the stream. Happy to have you continuing your ride here with us. As well as MTV CDM for 77 months. That's 11 years. If a year lasted 7 months, the math checks out. Thank you. Octari, 54 months. Thank you for your continued support of the channel and of this show. Sable Drake has subscribed for 24 months. Thank you for your continued support. I would also like to thank Forge Bold for 39 months of continued support. Thank you so much. Drowsynth dropping 500 bits on us for the debate on which fastener head is the best fastener head. The correct answer is not Mortorx. I'm not familiar with Mortorx. I'll have to figure out what that is because that scares me. K. Colvington subscribing for 46 months, saying it's been tough to keep up on these subs monthly, but damn, I'm proud of the overall duration. Closing in on 4 years. Congratulations. That's real good. If any of you need time off, take the time you need. We're happy to have you here, whether you are subbed, speaking in the chat, or just sitting back and watching on your lonesome. We'd be happy to have you here. Thank you again, Casey Collington. Noah Barto has subscribed for 16 months. Thank you so much. Your sub could drive at this point. Scratch Monkey is a 31st month subscriber. Nice vest. Thank you. It's sort of my thing. Hey, Australia, subscribed for 10 months of being subscribed to Lure content. Happy to be a part of this awesome community and enjoying watching my first Tinker Tailor stream in real time. Welcome, hey, Australia. Thank you for joining us. And happy to have you here for almost that year. Welcome to once again, welcome to the community. Oh, you looked up more torque? Okay, you know what? I need to look this up right now, too. More torques. And then I'll come back to that later. Alicious 2, brand new subscriber. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for stopping by. Tally Tamale, subscribing for 40 months. Thank you so much for your continued support. Coronax CJ has subscribed for 26 months. That's 2 times 13 months, and that's great. Rikiara, reading the name explains the name, has subscribed for 28 months. Thank you for your continued support. Texan Reverend has been given a sub by Not King nor Able. Thank you both for being on the channel. Thank you both for your generosity. And WedgeX drops that 11-month sub on us. Happy to see you here today, Wedge, and happy to see you here as always. And thank you for your support of the show and of the channel. And that's it for Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry for this week. We will be back in 1 fortnight's time for me to play around with the magical world of audio amplification. We'll see you then. Don't learn anything with ever forward, never learning.